5 laps separates one of these 20 women from a place in athletics history. The 10,000 metre final is upon us. The weather is just about perfect. It's overcast, it's cool, and there are a huge number of spectators here in Tracktown, USA. Eilish McColgan, following in glorious footsteps. Her mum Liz won this title just over 30 years ago in Tokyo, and Eilish has had the best season of her career. Could she get herself on the podium? Jess Judd, world junior silver over 800 10 years ago. She's now a great exponent of the 5 and 10,000. Kim Kemboy, silver medalist over the 5,000 back in Doha. That is Latessenbet Gide. Silver in this event in Doha. Bronze last year. The world record holder. Hasn't got a sprint, but can she run the sting out of the fast finishers like Helena Beery? World champion over the 5,000. But can she do the 10? She's never won a global medal at 10,000 metres. She's done everything else. Seifu of Eritrea, 6th in the world juniors a few years ago. Kip Karui, another one of the Kenyans who represents Kazakhstan. Alicia Monson, 7th for the world indoors this year, alongside Natasha Rogers, NCAA champion. 3 Americans in this one. There's Mulati, 6th fastest in the world this year for Ethiopia. And Carissa Schweitzer, twice an NCAA champion, over 5,000 metres. She won the trials. She's got a PB in the 1,500 of 4 minutes, so she can move if it gets slow and tactical. 2 Ugandans, they're both Commonwealth medalists. Chesang took the gold, Chalanga the bronze. Scott of South Africa, very good distance runner. Looking forward to seeing her. Daniel of Eritrea now. The Olympic champion, the 2nd fastest in history. What kind of form does Sifan Hassan bring to this World Championship? That's a face of concentration. Kushima of Japan. Tei, watch for Tei, sandwiched in between the 2 Japanese athletes, because she ran the 4th fastest time in history over the 5,000 metres. Just a month or so ago, but all the question marks about Sifan Hassan. She's been magnificent in the last few seasons, but they've had a few problems, and her start to the season has been delayed, and typically she's the very last athlete to line up on that bend. The final of the women's 10,000 metres. Sifan Hassan, if all goes to the form book in the early stages, and it does, will go straight to the back. So much to talk about here, Hannah. Eilish McColgan has gone straight to the front, and maybe if you're looking at this from a European and a British and a Japanese perspective, they can't afford for this to be slow. There are too many in this field who can move very, very well if it gets tight and tactical. But the big question mark here, Hannah, we know Latessenbet Gide's in decent shape. We know we've got the likes of Tai, her compatriot, the 22-year-old, who's in form. We really have no idea where Sifan Hassan is on her kind of own very high standards. That 15:13 in Portland earlier this month doesn't really tell us anything.
No, Sifan Hassan, this is common. She's often sat at the back of these major championships, 10,000s and 5,000s, biding her time, moving through the field. She said that 15:13 was a tempo run. When you read some reports and some comments, they say it looks a bit harder than a tempo run. But she's got so much calibre and class that it's hard to bet against her. But I'm so excited to see Great Britain's Eilish McColgan out in the lead. Her mum won this title way back in 1991. And Eilish has just got better with every season. And I'm not surprised to see this. The only major championship medal she's got is a silver at Europeans. I think she's going to pick up so many over the next few years. But she won that medal at Berlin by front running. And it was only Sifan Hassan that could get back past her. But Eilish is building up a real knack of doing this, just getting to the front of the field and saying, all right, I know what shape I'm in. I'm just going to go and run that. There was a 75 first lap. I was perhaps expecting a tiny bit faster. But Eilish can kick. She's got great 1500 metre pace. She's run 4 dead, 401 or so, as has Schweizer that you mentioned behind her. So Eilish can kick, but she would want this to be a really fast-run race. And Japanese aren't shy leading either. And Hironaka sat on Eilish's shoulder for nearly 800 metres. Now it is Rika Hironaka of Japan, just moving her way to the fore. She is the 5,000-metre national record holder for Japan. A super accomplished athlete. She's 31.30 this season though. So Hironaka could she be in the form that took her to a 7th place in Tokyo. Great couple of laps at the front here, 74 and a 73. She's moving really well. Strong field out.
And I think this is a sensible tactic for the likes of Eilish McColgan and Hironaka, because they know, with the best will in the world, they know that they can't match the quicker finishers behind them if it comes down to a big sprint. Their best chance is to run the sting out of as many of these athletes as possible. That is what Eilish McColgan did when she ran that brilliant time, second fastest in the world this year in Hengelo, 30 minutes and 19 seconds. She was absolutely metronomic, and we're pretty much single file in the early stages of this 10,000 metres with Hironaka and Eilish McColgan on the pacemaking duties. Hassan just in the middle of that group. But it's crazy really, the two leaders are looking comfortable in these early stages, and McColgan is in fantastic form this year. She's had 6 races and won 4 of them. But talking about Hassan, how do you try and construct a way to beating somebody who in Doha won the 10,000 and the 1,500 metres? That is an unprecedented range.
She really burst onto the scene in Doha. She was running fantastically well a few years before that. But that range to win the 1,500 and the 10,000, she ran 3:59 for the final 1,500 of the 10,000 metres. And that's no messing about, and I think that's why these athletes have had to change their tactics. They've had to think, I have to try and run the sting out of the likes of Sifan Hassan. And she's sitting way back in that pack at the moment, just chilling out.
Great stuff early on by Hironaka. Now, Fidek has seen his compatriot launch a big throw. What can he do in response here?
Throw from Pavel Fidek. He's chasing that lead of Wojciech Nowicki. 18 metres and 7 centimetres. Pavel Fidek takes the lead. 80 metres 50. Imagine if this man wins his 5th consecutive world title. Talking about impressive performances, Sifan Hassan, certainly someone that's delivered time and time again on the world stage, but I wonder if she's at all aware of the history of Pavel Fidek, who's just trying to make to her inside, moving their way past the hammer cage. Now, Hironaka looks very comfortable out in the lead. I do love the attitude and the application